He didn't win MVP. He didn't care. He just walked into the playoffs and dismantled everyone in his path. This is what happens when the smartest, most skilled big man in NBA history finally gets a chance to prove it.
Jokic has it. Clock ticks, gotta put one up. Jokic for the win! Oh!
2023, Nikola Jokic wasn't just dominant, he was a basketball algorithm with a soul. By the 22-23 season, the NBA and fans worldwide had mostly stopped overlooking Nikola's unassuming exterior and YMCA level of athleticism, but they kept marveling at the mind of a genius, the hand-eye coordination of a neurosurgeon, and the sense of humor of that slightly awkward, likable overweight dude from his school days. By that time, Jokic had already accumulated 4 All-Star nods, 3 All-NBA first-team selections, and 2 regular season MVP awards. But the critics kept pushing. He can't do it in the playoffs. You can't build a championship team around him. He's a liability on defense, and all sorts of similar garbage. But Jokic, he didn't worry about it at all. He just kept hooping and building a resume as one of the best players of all time in a league overflowing with some of the most physically gifted athletes on the planet. Before the 22-23 season started, the bookmakers gave Denver the 9th best odds to win the title. At plus 1800, if you'd have wagered $100 on the Nuggets, you'd have been collecting $1,800 after the finals. The bookies gave more respect to Denver after an impressive 53-21 regular season and the top seed in the Western Conference.
Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good!
Moving their title odds to plus 1,000, entering the playoffs. The 5th best odds to win the championship behind the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, Phoenix Suns, and Golden State Warriors. Oh, and they were tied with the Philadelphia 76ers, whose star, Joel Embiid, made it his life's work to finally outduel Jokic for the regular season MVP award after finishing runner-up 2 seasons in a row. Hot scoring and a full-blown media PR campaign at his side, Embiid reached his goal for the season. So, how did Jokic respond? I honestly think he didn't care. No drama, no media pushback, nothing at all. He had a bigger fish to catch, and his actions spoke louder than any words ever could. That postseason, the basketball world was about to learn the difference between stats and domination. Although Jokic did have plenty of stats, finishing the regular season just 0.2 assists shy of averaging a triple-double, 24.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 9.8 assists per game. Does this scoring total look a bit low to you? Well, for this world-smashing version of Jokic, it sort of was. That regular season was his lowest scoring among the last 5 seasons, but it also featured a career high in assists per game at the time. The 22-23 regular season is still easily his most efficient one, with a 63% field goal percentage, his career best mark by a wide margin. This is quality over quantity. The Nuggets, as a team, also changed up how they built around Jokic to maximize him for the playoff run.
Jokic backs up for the win! Yes!
The plan was clear. Surround Jokic and Jamal Murray with high IQ, versatile defenders, and build a roster that could adapt to anything. Through smart trades, savvy drafting, and steady player development, Denver sculpted a rotation designed for playoff survival. Even Michael Porter Jr., known more for his shot than his stops, bought into the mission, adding just enough on defense to stay on the floor. With KCP and Aaron Gordon rounding out the starting 5, the Nuggets had a perfect blend of shooting, size, and switchability. And once the playoffs hit, that rotation tightened. Bruce Brown brought the grit and the playmaking. Christian Brown brought the energy, and Jeff Green brought the vet toughness. They weren't chasing headlines in the regular season, they were sharpening knives. December, January, February, the Nuggets took turns steamrolling teams and then easing off the gas. It made some people doubt them, but when it mattered most, Denver wasn't just ready, they were lethal. And Jokic was playing his most favorite kind of basketball, the style we've grown to love so much over the past few seasons.
Jokic, put it up!
Creating for teammates, sharing the goodies, and toying with defenses as if he saw everything they tried to do in slow motion. Though it's not his go-to, he could still score in bunches if needed. The brightest examples from the regular season being his 40-point triple-doubles against fellow inner circle NBA contenders, a Christmas Day masterpiece against the Phoenix Suns, and an early February showdown against the full-strength LA Clippers. Both games were overtime wins for Denver. These games were a notice to the league. Against the best, Jokic could still be the best, but he was focused on different, much bigger things that season, and he proved it once and for all in the postseason. At that point in their history, the Wolves were a little more than just a happy-to-be-here bunch of youngsters, with playoff experience from their prior season and an off-season trade for Rudy Gobert, some say targeted especially to stop someone like Jokic. Minnie was hoping to put some fear into the top seed in the West. Well, the Nuggets didn't sweep them. They won the first round series in 5 games. And despite a defense built specifically to throw a wave of big bodies at him, Jokic somehow upped his production. 26 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. When Minnesota loaded up close to the paint on him, Nikola adapted. He doubled his three-point volume per game compared to the regular season, with 4.4 attempts per game and hit 50% of his threes. His best game was the series clincher. In Game 5, Jokic helped Denver overcome a slow start and send the Wolves home. This time, he shot awfully. Just 8 made field goals on 29 attempts. But he still found other ways to dominate, with 9 made free throws, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, and 2 block shots.
It's come in, plus 11 in that Game 4 win a couple days ago, spinning inside Jokic.
And he stayed a class act after winning 2. And they still managed to be in every game except Game 1. That was the only game that was an easy win for us, Jokic said. They did a good job. We were just a little bit better this time. But that was just a warm-up. Phoenix was next. Despite Denver being the higher seed, Jokic went into the second round with nothing but respect for the Phoenix Suns. He called them the favorite to win the championship, praising their depth, coaching, and star power, especially Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. They have an amazing group of guys, well coached, so it's going to be a big challenge for us. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Kind of. The Suns pushed the Nuggets a bit harder than Minnesota did by 1 game, but Jokic still elevated his already absurd postseason run, averaging a 30-point triple-double across the series, 34.5 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 10.3 assists on elite efficiency. His most jaw-dropping performance came in Game 4 on the road, a 53-point, 11-assist masterpiece that somehow ended in a 5-point loss. Jokic erupted for 18 in the third quarter alone and finished 20 for 30 from the field, keeping Denver in the game with an endless mix of floaters, post hooks, jumpers, and tip-ins.
Afterthought in the postseason before Game 3 of this series as Jokic.
He was great. That's what great players do this time of year, said Michael Malone. Unbelievably efficient. Joker was amazing, Aaron Gordon added, playing through the fouls, playing through the physicality, still creating, still making shots. It was incredible. Denver still had a shot late, down 3 with under a minute left after a successful coach's challenge, but Jokic lost the handle, then lost the jump ball to Ayton, and Phoenix iced it at the line. Still, even in defeat, Jokic's performance was historic. He passed Alex English as the Nuggets' all-time playoff scoring leader, became the first center in NBA history with a 50-point, 10-assist playoff game, and joined Wilt Chamberlain as the only centers ever to drop 50-plus in a playoff game. Oh, and that was the same game Jokic was fined $25,000 for improper contact with a spectator. That spectator being Suns' new owner, Matt Ishbia, who held onto the ball after it went out of bounds, trying his best to slow Jokic down. Let's just say it didn't work. After missing the chance to go up 3-1, Denver locked back in. Jokic responded with back-to-back triple-doubles in Game 5 and 6, and the Nuggets blew Phoenix out of the water, closing the series and punching their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. KD and Booker were on fire, but Jokic made them irrelevant. Now, the Lakers were next, and people said Denver hadn't been tested. Nikola opened the Western Conference Finals with a bang. He came out in Game 1 looking like a man on a mission, flashing his MVP form in a first-quarter explosion that left the Lakers stunned.
Aldwell Pope to Jokic. A quick spin move inside for the dunk.
Jokic grabbed 12 rebounds, dished 5 assists, and added 8 points, all in the opening quarter. No player since at least 1997 had ever posted 12-plus boards and 5-plus assists in a single quarter of a playoff game. He even out-rebounded the entire Lakers team by himself before halftime, 16-13. For context, the only other player since '97 to hit that first quarter stat line in any NBA game was Anderson Varejao in a random regular season game back in 2012. This was no random night. This was Jokic declaring the series his. He finished Game 1 with a monster triple-double, 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists, setting the tone for what was to come. Imagine being the best player on the floor in a playoff series that features LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's exactly what Jokic was, clearly and consistently. He recorded 3 triple-doubles in the sweep and saved his most complete effort for the closeout game. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. By the third quarter of Game 4, Jokic had secured his 8th triple-double of the playoffs, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record for the most in a single postseason of 7 in 1967. But the numbers don't even capture how he dismantled the Lakers in Game 4. He hit absurd step-back threes, including one over AD that made Davis stop and stare with a "no way that just happened" expression. Jokic didn't sit for the final 33 minutes of Game 4. He battled foul trouble late, picking up his 4th and 5th fouls in quick succession, but Michael Malone trusted him to stay on the court. He stayed composed on defense, dished 3 key assists in the 4th, and when Denver needed a dagger, Jokic delivered it, muscling past Davis for the final basket of the game with 51 seconds left.
Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang!
Sweep. Outside of a few short spurts, LA was never really in control during any of the 4 games. LeBron threw a desperate haymaker in Game 4, scoring 31 in the first half, but faded late, clearly gassed by the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Jokic walked the foul trouble tightrope, made the right reads, and put the Lakers to bed. This wasn't just another playoff series, this was a defining moment. Nikola Jokic, one of the most unique superstars the league has ever seen, had just led the Denver Nuggets to their first NBA Finals appearance in franchise history, and along the way, made beating LeBron and AD look like a business meeting. Next up, the biggest stage in basketball, the NBA Finals. At this point, would anyone really be shocked if Jokic came out and dominated from the opening tip? Of course he did. And he made history doing it. In Game 1 against the Miami Heat, Jokic dropped a triple-double with 27 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds in a 104-93 win. He became just the second player ever, alongside Jason Kidd, to post a triple-double in his NBA Finals debut. From there, Jokic took complete control of the series, imposing his all-around brilliance every step of the way. He averaged 30.2 points, 14 rebounds, and 7.2 assists per game across the finals, with pristine shooting splits of 58, 42, and 84%. And when it mattered most, he delivered again.
A foul to give. Nice pass from Murray. Jokic flips it up and in.
Jokic scored 10 points in the 4th quarter of the clinching Game 5, helping the Nuggets shut the door on Miami and win the franchise's first NBA title. He didn't just win the finals, he owned the entire playoffs. Jokic became the first player in NBA history to lead the entire postseason in total points, rebounds, and assists. Let that sink in. 600 points, 269 rebounds, 190 assists. The only player ever to do it. As confetti rained down and the season ended, Jokic didn't celebrate wildly, contemplate his legacy in the moment, or soak in the spotlight. Instead, he gave ESPN's Lisa Salters a simple, matter-of-fact answer. The job is done, we can go home now. No flexing, no theatrics, just another opponent solved. There's dominant, and then there's Nikola Jokic. He became the first center since Shaquille O'Neal in 2002 to win Finals MVP, and he did it by running through names like Kevin Durant and LeBron James on the way to the title. Along the way, he notched the first 30-20-10 game in Finals history and set a new all-time record with 10 triple-doubles in a single postseason. No, he didn't win regular season MVP, but Jokic never cared. He just kept doing what he does, and in the playoffs, That meant averaging 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists. You couldn't speed him up, you couldn't throw him off. And for one incredible playoff run, you couldn't stop him either. 2023 Jokic didn't just play the game differently, he understood it on a different level. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but he's a problem the NBA still hasn't solved. Was this the most dominant one-season championship run by a single player we've ever seen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're all about deep dives, breakdowns, and real basketball conversations, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.